Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles. Last time, we got down here to the Ether Mine and discovered it was being occupied by the Mechon. We also met up with Otharon, the Colonel of Colony 6, and Shulk had a very strange vision regarding him. This time, we're gonna go deeper into the mine, going as far as we can go. And believe it or not, that room that we were in was off to the side of this area where we fought the Mechon last time. And if we head down here, now we can progress. What's very strange, though, is that there's this area, and there's all this underneath that place. And yet, there's nothing down here. No item orbs, nothing. The only item orb at all is underneath the staircase. I don't understand that placement at all. Black Frog, that makes me think that's Sonic Heroes level. That's a weird connection to make in this particular adventure, but oh well. Let's just go onward.
Hurry it up, slow coach.
What's wrong?
Jojo! Gato! This is for you!
What can it mean? This is for you. Is Juju already dead? Or is he going to be killed? Is that why Otharon... But then, what does that mean? If we keep moving, is Otharon really going to die?
No! What's wrong, Shulk?
This battle is for my people. If you can't handle it, drop that weapon and head home.
That's not it. It's just that...
Out with it!
Listen, maybe we shouldn't just rush in head first.
What?
We got this far.
I think we should observe them and plan our attack afterwards.
You insolent! We don't have that kind of time! You don't know a damn thing about these machines. I have observed their movements. I've planned this attack for a month! I know full well what's going to happen to my brothers and sisters.
It's just...
We're going! Fall in, medic!
Sir, what's got into you?
A vision again. Don't tell me another death.
Yeah.
I knew it. The Shulk I know doesn't just chicken out for any old reason.
This vision, was it like before?
Kind of. I saw an underground ether river. And Otharon.
Huh. An ether river. You know what? That sword lets you see the future. All that power, and you still keep getting it wrong.
Better to use my brain than my fists.
Shulk, I may rush in head first, but at least my head's useful for something.
Okay, I get the idea.
I ain't done yet. You're useless on your own, Shulk. That's why we're here.
Ryan,
Next time you have a vision, you tell us. We bear the burden together as a team. You have a vision you don't like, we'll change the future together. Got it?
Got it.
What was that? Say it like you mean it.
I got it, all right? Next time I'll tell you.
He's right, Shulk. You two saved Juju once before. I know we can do it again. I believe in you.
Thanks.
They're right. We'll change what happens. Anyway, I didn't see Juju and the others dying. There's still hope.
This ties into what I was saying back in Tefra Cave when this happened. I'm glad that we had this moment here and now because I was afraid that it was going to become a running theme, that Shulk would see a vision, be conflicted on what to do, and it would become a do-or-die situation every single time. The first time this happened, Shulk thought the vision was a dream and didn't say anything because he wasn't sure, and as soon as he realized it wasn't a dream, it was already too late. The second time, he did share what was going to happen to Juju, but knew he couldn't stop Charlotte no matter what he said, so he didn't bother. It's no secret that Shulk is a little bit shy. Do I think that having it happen twice before was overdoing things a little? Maybe, because a lot of people, myself included, seem to misinterpret that and just think that Shulk doesn't really have a reason to not say anything other than just convenience. And for me, this was a large turning point in the story where I started getting a lot more invested in these characters than I had been up to this point. I like the concept of the world, I like the gameplay, and I like the sheer amount of things to do, but I wasn't totally sold on the characters. This was the turning point for me, and I hope it was for you as well. But if I may voice one criticism I have of the story early on, about damn time somebody noticed that Shulk has the Monado. Just saying. That aside, we found an ether crystal deposit and a drunk Fang. Apparently bats can get intoxicated. You heard it here first. Well, if a giant eight-headed dragon can get drunk and defeated that way, then I guess I could believe this one too.
Now we're pulling together. How do you like that?
Pro Hunter achievement. A unique monster appeared right in the middle of that battle, so there's one that could potentially spawn in this area. Like before, if you do not see a unique monster where I see one, just keep reloading your save again and again. I know it's kind of weird, but every now and again they don't spawn. And should you already have killed one, but you want to hunt it again, you can always do it for the experience, but you will not get the affinity coin, of course. Get the, wait, did that say an ice crystal? That was really strange. No, I don't want to open this. Okay, I guess I would have wanted to open it eventually, but still, I wasn't actively trying to open it. I just wanted to get the last ether crystal there, and it seems I did it because it is a lot less pretty looking, but it would still fetch a nice price. We can take some with us, right? I guess all the value's in the ether part of it, not the crystal part of it, of course. Can't ever think like that whenever we're on an adventure and we're getting all kinds of valuable stuff. Like, I'm sure even this glow moss would be worth at least something, right? No? We got a charcoal leg. I've heard of like a charcoal log, but a charcoal leg? Really? That's a strange name for an item, I have to say. Then again, what else is new that these item names are strange? Got a ready coil, and it seems like we are ready to get a vision about this coil. It's 2 ready coils. They might come in handy for rebuilding Colony 6. Well, that is a very prophetic thing to say there, Ryan. Seems that we are going to be involved in rebuilding the colony. And oh! I didn't know those enemies saw me. Can I not get away from them? Nope, this Mechon wants to fight. If it wants a fight, let's give it one. It's an aerial Mechon, shouldn't be any trouble at all with Charlotte by our side. And now I can talk about what I wanted to say in the first place before I got so interrupted by this thing. That was our first vision that specifically mentioned rebuilding Colony 6. We'd seen ones that say, you know, that'll be helpful for this area, or the people in this area are going to be really happy. But that mentions that we're going to be involved in rebuilding the colony in the future, and there's all the chance in the world that you might not pick up a ready coil in this area, so your first playthrough might foreshadow different things to you through the visions. They're not always set, which that's a nice little thing that I like a lot, because your first playthrough might be completely different from someone else's, and oh, Ryan learned a skill. I was pretty much done with all I wanted to say. How about we go check that out? I don't know what it is, though, but it seems like they're learning skills, and I don't notice it. I'm looking out for whenever it says skill learned, or listening out for the sound effect, though, but I don't ever find anything like that. Ryan learned the heavy equipment skill, so he can now equip any type of item, and he learned Courageous Taunt. That increases the aggro John by Mad Taunt. Let's see if we can equip that. No one has a diamond, but a diamond-shaped block can fit it into that hole, right? That means I can equip it, doesn't it? No, it doesn't, unfortunately, so we have a skill that we can't even equip. How wonderful is that? Let's just get our ether crystals and press on. Like I said, there are ether crystal deposits everywhere here. It's crazy, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Look through any nooks and crannies, and wow, there are a lot of enemies in this area. Are they like... well, a unique monster, Vengeful Dalton. I'm just gonna run away from this and just hope that you don't notice me as I run away, okay? That sounds pretty good to me. If you go up this way, you can see by the flag on the map, this is where we need to go. Storage Depot Gate, and... Did they really chase me all the way here? Are you not going to... Fine, have it your way. I was gonna let you live, but if you insist on dying, I will not tell you no. I have the Monado after all. The future is ours for the taking. Can't think of a better way to start this off than my usual defense down, followed by a backslash, and crap, I have the aggro. Let's, Ryan, can we get a topple on this enemy, please? No. This is why I do not like leaving the topple up to the AI. And speaking of the AI, that is something I've been meaning to get into for a little while. Thing is, Ryan's AI is pretty good. You know, all it has to do is spam arts, topple enemies when you use break. There's not really a whole lot to screw up. It does a pretty good job. So, having Ryan in the AI is not bad. As for Shulk, the AI uses Monado arts a little bit more than I would, because usually I'm pretty sparing with mine. At least compared to a lot of playstyles I've seen, but you know, it's not bad. Charla, on the other hand, is another story. Thing is, I had a lot of people disagreeing with me when I said I felt Charla was not the greatest. And I'm not saying Charla is bad at all. I will never tell you that Charla is bad. I'll just say that she has some weird things about her, and her AI is one. You ever find yourself in situations where the AI just simply is not healing you, even though you know she hasn't used a healing art in a while? Well, there's a reason for that. Charla's AI, quite frankly, is terrible at managing the heat. Oftentimes, she will not use her talent art unless she is overheating. So, even if you are terrible at playing Charla, just human controlling her will instantly make her a better healer if you just keep at least some eye on her heat meter. Either way, the storage gate right here, let's see. The door is closed tightly. There might be an option to open the door at a mine observation point at the end of test pit 4. Well, that is a very oddly specific description of a door we've never seen before in our life. Apparently, Shulk really is a smart guy who knows his machines. But yes, Charla's AI is that bad. She will not use her cooldown art unless she is overheating. And I fell down. Oh, and wow, I found an ether crystal deposit I didn't know was here. I thought it was another level up. Well, actually, was it a bad thing that I fell down here? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, come on, please don't prove me wrong right now. Am I right? We're just going around in circles right now. This is... Okay, this is where we found those fire ether crystals. Can't walk through there. Can I please get my bearings straight here? I have a map of these caves, yet I'm having just the most trouble in the world getting through them. Alright, I went through there and I fell down last time, so how about we go around? Let's go this way. I hope I'm going the right way. Okay, I think I am. Now let me go through here. We are on the other side of that pit that we would have fallen down. Of course, the minecarts would have traveled through there if it wasn't destroyed. And this is the observation point. Look at how big the ether mines are. Yeah, that huge. Been waiting to show you guys this one. Yeah. Did you think the ether mine was just going to be a bunch of narrow caves with train tracks along them? Nope. Always find a way to surprise you in this world. And that's one thing that I want to talk about. Or rather, it's one thing that I will talk about when we get back to that deck over there. Let's skip travel. And I found my way back pretty damn instantaneously. I probably didn't even need to cut. So this door is open now. Welcome to the central pit.
We're here. The central pit.
Where are they all? I don't see anyone.
We'll take that lift.
I'm ready to mash some mech on.
Yeah. Juju, Otharon, just hold on.
Did Otharon really run that far ahead? It didn't really seem like it before. I mean, yeah, he went ahead, but they weren't back there talking for all that long. At least I didn't think they were, but hey, what do I know? Not very much, apparently, since I've become known as the guy who confused Earthcloak with terrain defense when explaining the gems. Yeah, we got an Earthcloak gem a few videos ago, and when I said that it makes you not take as much damage from ground hazards, I was wrong. It instead makes it so that ground enemies like that mech on that just noticed me would have a lower aggro radius for noticing me with vision. Simple as that. We got a bunch of mech on right here. How about we take them out and get ourselves some crystals? Thanks for that. That took a little while. Now that we're getting these ether crystals, though, what I wanted to say about this world is just, have you ever noticed how brilliantly designed of a world this is? And I don't just mean the fact that everything is so vast, everything is so huge, and yet it doesn't feel boring. There's always stuff to do. There's item orbs for you to grab, there's ether crystal deposits for you to collect from, there's all kinds of things. Like, it's so rare that you ever don't have anything to do on screen. I mean, to say that it's easy to get distracted in this game is an understatement. Understatement of the year, even more so than what I just said was understatement of the year not that long ago. There is always something to grab your attention. It is very easy to lose track of yourself in this world, just getting immersed in it and finding a million things for yourself to do. But that's not all I'm talking about. Have you noticed the way that these areas are ordered? The way that we had Tefra Cave and then Bionis Leg. After going through Tefra Cave, you were used to having just walls on either side of you. You know, low ceilings, all those things. And when you get out of it, they plop you into a canyon where, again, you have walls on either side of you and it feels very cramped. So, where do they take you next? They shove you out in a Gower Plain and let you just run any which way you want. It makes an already really vast area that would have felt absolutely huge feel even bigger. And it just makes that moment of when you crawl out of Tefra Cave, you go past the kneecap, and you get into Gower Plain for the first time. It is so magical. And that's not the only time that that happens. You notice that they did the exact same thing with the Ether Mine. Colony 6 had those really thin pathways. We were in a bunch of really narrow caves, and then all of a sudden, we are just thrust into this gigantic area. And in fact, to drive my point home of just how big of an area this is, after I grab these ether crystals, I would like to show you by example just how big of an area it is. How am I going to do that? Well, you'll see. Just let me say one thing before I do it. I led a full life! Whoa, I got Titan's generosity. Apparently letting me die was that very generosity, and I died.
Go on.
If you were at all curious what was down the path I didn't take, all that's over here is just a couple of item orbs and a dead end, nothing more. With that being in a battle, that just sounded kind of funny. I'm sorry, but it did. Fire apron. I thought that said fire apron for a second. I'm just like, extreme sandwich making or something to that effect. That's all I could really think of. Got some Mechon in this area. We can laughably sneak right past them because their line of sight was so bad for how they were positioned. We got personnel lift number 2. Let's go ahead and activate it. I went inside of Shulk's head there for a second and... Oh, hi Ryan. He is like desperately trying to get through that gate up there to come down to us. Well, luckily for him, he has the magical powers of teleportation. There he shows up, right on cue, as soon as I pointed out. Okay. So we could walk all the way around there and deal with that Mechon, but we have jumping! Was that a smart move? Am I dead? No, barely not. Okay. HP goes right back up, and just like at the end of a battle, why am I running that way? That was the very area I was trying to avoid having to walk through. I are totally smart. So, as you can look at the arrow, and if you were watching it while I was falling down, it's pretty obvious where we need to go. We need to go down to the bottom of the central pit as center as possible. So, yeah, we need to go to the central pit. That's really the best way I can put it. And I can understand some people not liking the look of this area, but it's very different from Tephra Cave, and I like that a lot. Just all the crystals everywhere, the fact that it's very metallic looking. Speaking of metallic, there's Mechon there, but I'm just going to run from them because I got quick step gems and I can do that. Yes. If you don't want to fight tons and tons of enemies, I highly suggest the quick step gems. You might miss out on some item orbs by just running from enemies instead of fighting them, but honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. Just the fact that you can outrun enemies and the fact that you can deal with that, I don't know if it's really, I'd call it a piston though, but just that thing that was up there that was pushing us around. That thing can catch up to you, and it can end up kind of bad if you want to go, you know, back against it, because you have to be able to run through that area before it comes back to you, and is this thing really... Okay, good. It's not chasing me anymore. Whoa! Why do I always get so freaked out whenever I get a vision like a third love crane? Should make Peppa happy. Peppa, huh? Does he have a friend named Salt? Okay, I couldn't resist. But, just about every floor of the ether mines, as you see here, has some kind of side area where you can go into the caves. There are some... You know, this confuses me. This looks like some kind of arachno web that you can climb on, and it's very strange that this doesn't appear in Tephra Cave, though, because in Tephra Cave you have the vines and not that, so I don't really get it. Out that way, you can see that there are Mechon M32 transport units. Those have units of ether crystals on them, and in fact, if you can beat them, which to do so I would need to lure one over. There we go. Let's challenge you to a fight. Wait, no. No, no. Ryan, do not use Wild Down. Do not use Wild... Oh, wait, actually, he can't use Wild... Ryan, you were just standing there with one foot over the pit, presumably balancing yourself on one leg like a circus performer. What are you doing? Grab! Well... What I was trying to say, but failed so miserably in doing so, is that you have a chance of getting some ether ore from those enemies if you defeat them, and not only that, this also reveals that the Mechon are harvesting ether crystals after overtaking the colony. Something to think about. Perhaps it is a good thing I lost that battle. On that pathway that I decided to just jump down, there is an ether crystal deposit here, should you want some.
Wow! I'm on fire! Scarlet, did you see me? Did you see what I did?
Oh, I wasn't really looking.
Oh, come on. That's not fair.
Okay, yes, you can get more quotes between the party members after a battle after they have certain levels of affinity. That is one of my favorites, and I've been waiting for that one to pop up. Also, an ether crystal deposit here. But that one is one I always look forward to hearing. Like, it is just... Ryan, like I said before, don't act like you don't like being some sort of Gato substitute, as you put it. I don't know, it's really fun to see that kind of interaction between them, even in battle. It just really shows that these characters are... It just shows that these characters are really something special to me. Back on the main path. It looks like we're about ready to do some platforming here at the Regulation Pistol. And we have Mechon wanting to fight us once again, of course. And Ryan gets a level up. What I was going to say before I got interrupted by the Mechon Menace is that we have hit a landmark, and we have that ahead of us. I think we'll go there next time on Xenoblade Chronicles. See you guys then.